Dillian Whyte has made a bold claim, insisting that IBF heavyweight champion Daniel Dubois should absolutely not fight Derek Chisora next, and he might just have a point. According to Whyte, Dubois has much bigger and more exciting fights in his future, and facing Chisora would be a huge mismatch. Whyte even went so far as to suggest that Dubois would kill Chisora in the ring, a statement that many fans on social media have backed up. If this fight were to happen, it would likely be a one-sided disaster, with Chisora having little to no chance against the younger and stronger Dubois. Chisora, now 41, is no stranger to the fight game, but he has been strategically placed into the mandatory position for a title shot against Dubois by his promoters. The fact that Chisora is even considering such a fight says a lot about his priorities, and it's clear he's not fooling anyone about his intentions. Many boxing fans believe that Chisora's main goal here is not to win, but to secure a massive paycheck before he finally calls it a career. Dillian Whyte, who is 36, didn't specifically name an ideal opponent for Dubois, but he did suggest that a fight with him could work, though he quickly pointed out that he's in a similar position to Chisora. Whyte admitted that he, too, is past his prime and doesn't belong in the ring with the likes of Dubois or Alexander Usyk. His comments reflect the reality of boxing, where many fighters eventually reach a point where they're no longer championship material. Whyte feels that Dubois needs to aim higher than Chisora if he truly wants to make his mark on the heavyweight division. The bottom line is, fighting Chisora would be a step backwards for Dubois, not a step forward, and Whyte believes that Dubois is destined for bigger and better things. The reality of the situation is that, should a fight between Dubois and Chisora actually happen, it would likely end in a devastating defeat for Chisora. Whyte doesn't mince words when he says that Dubois would absolutely dominate the 41-year-old veteran, and the possibility of Chisora being seriously hurt is very real. Chisora, who has been in countless wars throughout his career, knows that he's no longer in his prime, but he's savvy enough to know that the fight with Dubois represents his last chance at a major payday. In the end, Chisora's main motivation seems to be financial security in his retirement, and if that means stepping into the ring against Dubois, so be it. However, many believe that Chisora will quickly realize that the title fight against Dubois might not go as planned, and he could be walking into a disaster. Fans and critics alike know that Derek Chisora is well past his prime. At 41 years old, he's not the fighter he once was, and he's probably aware of this too. Still, Chisora is determined to squeeze one last big payday out of his career. His strategy is simple: take the fight with Dubois, cash in on the massive financial reward, and then retire. While Chisora may know that he's out of his depth against a fighter like Dubois, he's not stupid. He knows that the money from this fight would set him up for life, making it an offer too good to refuse. But the problem is that Chisora's chance of winning is slim to none, and he might soon find himself outclassed and outmatched in the ring. For Dubois, the situation is a little more complicated. While fighting Chisora might make sense from a financial perspective, it wouldn't do much for his reputation or career. If Dubois really wants to establish himself as one of the top heavyweights in the world, he needs to focus on tougher, more competitive opponents. Sure, Chisora is a well-known name, but a dominant win over him won't move the needle in terms of Dubois' legacy. What he needs now are big, high-profile fights with opponents who can truly test his skills and elevate him to the next level. There's no doubt that Dubois has the potential to become a major player in the heavyweight division, but taking easy fights like this one with Chisora will only hurt his career in the long run. It's time for Dubois to step up and take on the best. As much as Chisora may be looking for a payday, fans and boxing analysts have little faith in his ability to seriously challenge Dubois. The idea of Chisora facing the younger, stronger, and quicker IBF champion sounds almost absurd, especially considering how much the veteran has struggled in recent years. Even when Chisora fought other notable heavyweights, he showed glimpses of his former self, but never quite had the ability to win at the top level anymore. Dubois, on the other hand, is rapidly developing into one of the most promising young heavyweights. His knockout power and natural athleticism make him a formidable force in the division, and this mismatch against Chisora would likely only expose